Hi, my name is Rio Wren and I am the artist and designer at Raw Textiles in Portland, Oregon. And today I am going to do a short demo with Dandelion. We're going to use it for a dye. And I guess I just wanted to start by saying that oftentimes I personally, for my work, will use repurposed and found objects, garbage, and I really see beauty in those things, and so I like to take those in and then give them back so that you too can see the beauty that I see. And dandelion isn't necessarily garbage, but it is considered a weed. And so oftentimes people, will spray pesticides on it, which we know is not good because it's killing bees, which are great pollinators. But it's also a very useful plant. It's been recorded to be used as a medicinal since back all the way into the 10th century. And it's been used primarily as a liver and kidney tonic. You can also eat dandelion just straight out because it's not poisonous. So you can use it for salads, you can bake with it, you can use it to ferment and make wines, and can also use it for a coloring. And it's very color fast. And that's really exciting. So I wanted to share some of that with you. The color necessarily isn't that exciting as far as like the palette that you get with it, but the actual color that you do get, I believe to be very beautiful. And being that it's such an abundant source, you can, get it anywhere pretty much. I mean, unless you live somewhere where there's just all concrete, you're going to be able to find dandelion, you're going to be able to harvest it. And if you don't have your own garden, you can, I'm sure, ask a neighbor and they will happily let you pick the dandelions from their garden. So with that being said, I would like to get started. So basically what I have is a bucket that I've rinsed, and this is what I'm interested in, is the root and the leaves. I don't really have any flowers in here. This is the dye pot that I've added water to, and I am now simmering. I'll be doing this for the whole day, and then tomorrow we'll check back with it after I get the most color from it that I can. As you can see, the color of the water is a lot darker now, and the leaves are wilted, so it's ready to be strained. So that's the next step we're gonna do. These are the samples that I'm gonna be putting into the dandelion bath. To begin with, we have alum simplocos, which is a sweet leaf shrub, and it's rich in alum. So I'm gonna compare that with the alum, ferrous sulfate, and just plain, no mordant, washed only. The dandelion bath is nice and warm, and we're going to take some of the reserve of it and put it in here and keep it warm. Because I'm going to do something with it, which is I'm going to put some ferrous sulfate crystals in it directly and do an experiment with that. So now I'm going to take the samples and soak them in the water. The cotton is the one that you are the most concerned about, I would say, because it takes the longest to absorb the water. Especially this one, it's a cotton poplin. So once these are wet, we're going to put them in the bath. So I would leave these in here for about 10 minutes and let them so they can soak up real good. This bath, I'm going to take some ferrous sulfate crystals and put them directly into this dandelion, just a touch. This should darken it. And we're going to put the pieces of fabric that were not mordanted into this one. And we're going to let them soak as well. All right, so these have been soaking for a long time. I'd say probably an hour. Because I just wanted them real dark. And then the colors are actually not what I expected. But let's check it out. This is the dye pot of Dandelion, which is the Fun Experiments. And I just kind of have various things in here. I'm going to take them out in a minute. They've been sitting overnight. I just took these out of the bath, but I'm going to leave them to sit here for a couple days because they're wet. And this, as you can see, this has rust on it. And so all of these will pick up somewhere and leave a mark. Kind of like it did with the coatiness, if you saw that video, coatiness and iron. So I'm going to leave these for a couple days and we'll check in on them. These are the samples of the finished dyed pieces. We have alum, ferrous sulfate, simplaco, and iron in the bath with no mordant. And I'm going to take this card and put everything on it because that is how I do it. As you can see, I really need to put these samples in a book because that's just some of them, probably from the last, 5 years. I'm keeping bigger samples. I used to never keep any samples, so just take these and this one I kind of decided to put it on the back. And then this, I'm going to have to do it in two. This is a pretty cool sample though, because I soaked this only part way and it got a nice feathering effect. And this is just really wild how dark it goes with this. It's a sample card. Okay, so these are the finished pieces. Well, finished dyeing in the dandelion bath. I let them sit. Got some fun patterns. You can see you got a little extra rust. Okay. So then next we have this cotton. This one I folded, just kind of triangular, weird random pattern. And that is what came out of that, which is pretty cool. Very light. The resist was very light. And this one, I reserved part of it out of the bath so I could get some white and then some mottled rusting effects. And so this one is definitely a work in progress. So this is that piece that I ironed out. It still has wrinkles in it, but I'm not done with it. But you can see there's the full piece. And there we have the elusive dandelion as a dye. Thank you so much for listening, watching, and participating. Next week, I'm going to do some thickened dye, and I mean it this time. This has been a Bella approved dandelion demonstration. Thank you. Many blessings.